Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Dota 2 Asia Championships 2017. They took a year off, and we are going to be back into some awesome coverage here as we are ready to begin the American Qualifier. That's right. I'll quickly show it up on the stream. We have 8 teams who have been invited to participate in this American Qualifier. They have been split into 2 groups, Group A and Group B. Those 2 groups will battle it out. The top 2 from each group will advance into a double elimination bracket. And then, of course, the one team to qualify at the end of this will get a free trip to China and a chance to battle it out for a much larger prize pool. I'm Coddle Guy for Beyond the Summit. I'm going to be bringing you the coverage all along the way, joined by a variety of awesome, talented, and some of the best analysts you could ask for. Starting things off, I'm going to have my good Croatian pal, Lacoste, joining me. Hi, Lacoste. How you feeling today?
Hello, Dakota, my old friend. Everything is fine.
Excellent,
Let's
excellent.
get ready for some good Dota.
You're going to get exposed now to some good old American Dota. It's going to be an awesome treat to start with because you're going to get some of the best you can ask for here. Of course, you're probably very familiar with Digital Chaos. We got to witness a bit of their run at Dota Pit not long ago together. Since then, they have been trying to qualify for Star Series. They're currently in a tiebreaker situation for Star Series with MP. I believe even later today they're going to be having that tiebreaker, and only one of those 2 teams will qualify. So it's going to be something on the side to look out for. So we already know what Digital Chaos can do, Lacoste. WanteD, though, the PPD stack, the new stack, PPD, JO, QO, Boris, and Chessie. Look at them, all in uniform with proper names. I already am expecting big things from WanteD, Lacoste. What do you think about this new team, these new kids on the block?
I always like the new teams, new stacks that are formed and are eager to win.
Oh, yeah.
Especially the teams that have mixed nationalities. So I'm really looking forward to see what this team can do. I trust PPD and QO and JO as well. We'll see what others can do.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a good share of experience on this team. PPD, he's a TI champion after all, been around the block. Jo was on one of the old editions of EG, and he'd been around forever. Chessie had his run with Alliance. Obviously, he's been unfortunately a bit plagued with some injuries off and on, but he has said that he feels good and ready to go. On WanteD, though, there is one gentleman here who many people probably don't know, and that's Boris. And I was poking around a bit, looking into his history. I reached out to local, American Dota expert Grant, and he gave me a bit of the extra insight there. Boris is a young up-and-comer. The kid's I believe, 19 years old. PPD was very adamant, very excited to be able to work with him. He feels like Boris is going to be the next big thing. We had briefly seen Boris with team like Freedom in the past. He was playing a lot of the core position, a lot of the carry. Here, he's going to be playing the off lane for PPD. So what do you think, Lacoste? This guy, he's a young gun coming in. He's going to have to play off lane, and he's playing with PPD as his captain, who's a TI champion. What do you think that's like?
It's always easy. When I played, it was always easy to play with having an experienced captain in charge. And I think it's going to be easy for Boris. And I always like the new kids in the block showing what they can do. So he kind of sounds Russian. His name, Boris.
I believe he's Canadian, is what I heard, but that's not his real name. Boris is not his real name. For some
Yeah,
reason,
maybe Boris, shortened from Boris the Blade. Maybe that's
Boris
it.
the Blade. That sounds pretty badass.
Yeah.
But his name's Noah for real, so not as Russian sounding, unfortunately. But I'm sure a name, Lacoste, that we're gonna get familiar with real quick. I mean, this could be the next up and coming Sumail, the next big rising star, the next Miracle. We'll have to see.
Usually mid players are recognized as the best players because of the style they play. But since he's playing an off lane, we'll see about that.
Well, now we actually have a draft well underway here, so let's actually get into it. Digital Chaos, though, no shame whatsoever, Lacoste. We've been moving on. We've had some good experience in 7.0. They're just going to go back with what is the old trusty. Shadow Demon Luna as their 1-2 opener. WanteD, though, keeping things more fresh. They get that Rubik, and they go right for the Pudge, who continues to be just a really strong 4 position, and one where it's if he just lands that perfect hook in any situation of any game, it could just be a total game changer, and you'll just 180 the outcome. So WanteD recognizing that, they get it themselves early, move on to a Weaver, and since then, Digital Chaos have picked up what looks like a Darkseer for good old Moon Meander.
Yeah, Rubik and Pudge together combine really well. The ganks are easy to execute, especially in the smoke. Just throwing back on the hook. And from Digital Chaos, we see Shadow Demon Luna. That's the combo that has been played for the last, 6 months, even a bit more.
Yep.
And Weaver being picked up by WanteD. There's not a lot of control in DC's lineup so far, so Weaver can run around freely. They will need to take some kind of silence/stun.
We'll have to see what kind of control they're going to look to reach for on that one, because you also want to get something that's going to be very precious to Rubik as well, that can, just offer more tools for WanteD to kind of work with here. All right, so that appears to be what possibly new kid Boris is going to be taking reign on. Straight to the Nyx for him.
Boris the Nyx.
Boris the Nyx.
Oh,
no, and then suddenly
there we go.
A Meepo right out of the gate. Digital Chaos, they're not looking to play around. They see a team like WanteD. They know this is a brand new team, but they respect them enough to say, we're going to go right for the Meepo here. We're going to go right for the Meepo.
It's always fun. Yeah,
Man.
It's always fun to see Meepo, especially when Miha is playing it. And they saw the opportunity and they took it. There's not enough AoE in Rubik, Pudge, Weaver, and Nyx to counter that Meepo. Well, probably Pudge is some kind of counter if you just drag one and kill it, but the rest is just single target spells pretty much.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit concerning here for WanteD. They're going to have to really value that final pick as something that could prove to be some trouble for Meepo if they can even do so. Picking your support staff this early does leave you a bit, susceptible to kind of being countered out rather by some of the core game later on. And DC are trying to take advantage of it.
That's why Dota is like a chess game.
It really is.
Reveal too much with your supports, and you might get punished for that. They kind of shoot themselves in the leg with those early support pickups. Both,
not even in the foot. They shot him just in the leg.
Yeah, in the knee.
That's a bad shot.
Took a bullet in the knee.
Yeah.
All right.
A foot could be forgiving, but if you're shooting straight in the knee, that's a problem here. This is PPD you're talking about. Hopefully he didn't shoot himself too deep here, but he's a formidable captain. I'm sure he'll find a way to kind of bounce back from this, but who knows? I mean, you may not just expect DC to just come into game one and say, we're going to Shadow Demon Luna and Meepo just right out of the gate. We're going to set the tone in game number one of this best of three, just like we're not messing around. We're looking to get the win. They already have that stressful, upcoming tiebreaker with MP. Here they're hoping to be like warmed up and ready to start their day of competitive Dota. Their final ban is going to be on the Tinker here. Something that would have been wonderful. Imagine a Tinker with an Ags going against the Meepo. That would have been nice. The constant laser spam and missiles.
Yeah, it counters Meepo really hard. Maybe an Invoker is still not banned for WanteD. Maybe they'll give it a try against Meepo. An interesting pick coming out of Digital Chaos, Tusk.
I mean, they had banned the Earth Spirit, and Tusk kind of can fill that same profile if they're looking for maybe some sort of early game roaming aggressor. Tusk has the benefit of having those extra defensive tools like a, obviously the snowball, or maybe he can get a good block, let's say, with the shards. But an interesting protective pick nonetheless. So good defensive capability as mentioned with Tusk. They already have a Shadow Demon to go along with it. Like, a lot here from DC to kind of rally around and get behind the Luna. And imagine that Tusk with a Darkseer, too. That's going to be hard hitting. And then OD.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to mention. Tusk just moving on the off lane with Darkseer.
Yeah.
Can set up some easy ganks. And they have a lot of save. Imagine focusing one Meepo, then Shadow Demon disrupting him 2.5 seconds, then Tusk putting him in the ball for next 3 seconds. That's 5.5 seconds.
That's many
just
seconds.
Delaying the enemy attacks. Yeah. And we have OD as well with Astral Imprisonment. So on the other team, but still.
Well, this is it, man. I mean, you look at Digital Chaos's lineup, and this is like, I mean, it doesn't get any better, really. I mean, with the exception that you traded out the Tusk for like an Earth Spirit, like you're talking super meta pickups here for DC. WanteD, their first game, dishing out one of their very first drafts. They get some more in-style heroes, if you will, with the early pickups of Pudge and Rubik. And then they find themselves against this Meepo, And they'll have to just try to make what they've already built for themselves kind of work. Renting it out with the OD obviously gives them a better idea on how things are going to be panning out in the mid lane. But we'll have to see if DC are just going to get that sweet start in the laning stage and get, you know, the Weehaw Meepo really rolling out of control.
Oh, Weehaw bought a TP. That's pretty unusual.
TP to what? Get out? Oh, yeah, get it, but he didn't even move out from the lane yet, interestingly enough. But
just a casual TP when he hits level 3. I guess TP to base.
Well, I will be honest with you, Lacoste. I'm not a big Meepo player myself, so I'm not sure what's in meta to kind of, you know, move
I think he
map.
knows better than both of us.
Yeah,
combined probably.
Yeah, and everyone probably watching.
And everyone else on the stream combined.
So it's always a treat and a good test for WanteD leading out early, as they have pretty much congregated all together up here. I don't know if they're in anticipation that there could be an early movement coming out from DC, but you know, whatever the case may be, it seems like they are happy to kind of just rally behind their OD for now. I mean, a good hook setup, let's say, or even if he goes for the rot early on, could make for a wonderful start. I gotta quickly load the program here. Okay, we are good to go. Nice deep ward comes out from Moon. He's going to be able to see some early movement into the safe lane position right now. He is going to have what looks like a start of a solo matchup between him and new kid Boris right now. So I would suspect Moon should kind of get the better end of this matchup, but you know, they wanted to set up, wanted, if you will, Lacoste, to set up a... wanted to set up a one-on-one matchup here in the bottom lane, so hopefully it works.
Well, I'm not sure it's good for WanteD, because Darkseer has obviously an upper hand against him. He's gonna free farm on the lane, but still it's against Boris. We need to see what this kid can do.
What do you think about the Nyx Darkseer matchup? Is that what you were kind of getting into a bit? Are we expecting some early jabs, it looks like already, of the mana drain, but as the levels begin to come in, does Darkseer kind of take over with higher level ion shells?
Oh, just a second, I have some problems. I can hear you twice.
You can hear me twice. You might have the stream open on the side. Make sure you mute that thing.
Nope.
I
don't have it.
Oh, no, you don't have the stream open? Maybe, oh, I know what it is. Go into your settings in Dota, go over to audio, and there's a setting called Mute Co-Broadcaster. You might want to make sure that's checked. You could be hearing me in the actual game and as well in our little team speak. So, Mute Co-Broadcaster.
Mute Co-Broadcasters?
Yeah, check that. Make sure that's on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's checked. Yeah, and it's fixed. Sorry about that.
No
everyone.
problem. You know, I'm a man of many talents here. Caster, host, production guy, and a technical assistant there for you. So, I think we're good to go. Back underway. Nothing to really break out. Just Moon kind of beginning to really take over the CS game right now. And, hold on. While you have a problem, I had my own problem there. All right, I think I got my hotkeys all set up now. There we go. We can see the last hit so we can get everything underway. So we're good. But, you know, no surprise, I switch over to CS. It's Moon winning big time right now.
Well, it was pretty obvious that it's going to go that way, because Nyx Assassin can't really stop Darkseer from farming. He burned his mana, but still he has a Soul Ring, can farm every creep wave pretty much.
I'm suspecting we're going to have some tension building up here in the top with this aggro setup coming out from WanteD. Curious to see if they're getting the true value out of it. I'm seeing Luna get the CS going for herself. And Chessie is still kind of just trying to find his way into some CS, but overall is totally getting bullied out from the lane. Which is not really a surprise. I mean, Shadow Demon's a pretty good lane bully as it is, but even with Tusk hanging around, I just don't, it doesn't feel like at the moment WanteD are getting the value out of this aggro setup that they were hoping for. Maybe Jo and some hooks could change it, but as of right now, it's a bit slow.
Yeah, I agree. The top lane, we need to keep eyes on. Oh, there's the hook.
He got it. Pulls him right back in. The Bug Swarm's going to be coming out. Misery looks to go promptly for a disruption, but obviously no follow-up will be there. That's the pickup we were hoping to see, and they're already going to get it. It doesn't stop yet. Roll in from Saksa. He'll eat some harassment, but WanteD get the kill they're hoping for in hopes that they can get Chessie feeling a bit more dominant in this top lane.
Yeah, I love the build on Chessie, actually. A lot of players tend to go for Shikuchi and third spell on the second level, but especially when you're playing against the tri-lane, the Swarm is so much better.
While that lane will kind of subside a bit for now, we'll await to see if Misery's going to rotate. He's already heading towards the bottom lane right now. Moon has been getting closer to his level 5. Boris is kind of matching up with him in the XP, almost neck and neck on that front. Moon will still win the CS game, but I gotta say Boris is still holding his own. He doesn't have the benefit of ion shells and stuff like that, but he's still swinging, and he's still finding his way towards the CS and XP, and once he gets that level 6 Vendetta, he's probably gonna look to put it some work.
Yeah, that's what they want to do.
Oh, yeah.
Like, get Boris some early levels on so he can put the pressure on the map, since Darkseer is gonna free farm anyway on that lane. And I'm surprised he's doing so well, especially that he doesn't have a Poor Man's Shield nor Quelling Blade. His CS is really high.
A good one-on-one matchup for his debut matchup on this team. Such high-profile team members is probably one of the best things you can ask for here. Because I would imagine if you're like kind of the new guy and then they throw him into an off-lane setup where he's getting harassed by a tri-lane, that's when you really get tested. Here they kind of give him an easy lane setup for his first game, maybe build up some early bit of confidence, and just kind of allows WanteD's top lane here to try to do all the legwork, which we could see some more of. Swing and a miss on the hook this time. Try to make it go under resolution. The counterplay could come out from DC. They send out the shards. They get the decent block. PPD is going to have to step in with the telekinesis. That roll,
problem.
Yeah, this roll could put him trouble, closer to trouble rather. It is going to be Saksa going down. Good use of WanteD to kind of recognize some potential to draw him out. DC will get snubbed and WanteD take a 2-0 start.
Yeah, this is lane, tri-lane looks... Oh, nice hook again.
He gets the hook, he pulls in resolution. Disruption will come out from Misery to try to save
But
him. He rotated over, may have been that early TP. Coming to work right now, and it's going to be PPD going down and DC getting themselves on the board. They counterplay themselves.
Yeah, this was a nice hook though. DC's tri-lane is quite stronger. As we saw a bit earlier when they tried to go with a hook. The same exact moment that hook missed, they instantly go on them.
Trying to play around that cooldown a little bit. They may not have to worry about too many hook threats here moving forward, as rotation could come out. Looks like Wee has made his return to the lane, but that's also where PPD is currently hanging out. They'll poke at the tower a bit, but overall, Weeha is going to feel a bit more comfortable. Saksa also has done the rotation himself, maybe just following PPD to make sure that there's not going to be too much of an overbearing in that mid lane right now. Still a stalemate or so happening here at the bottom. Moon continues to inch ahead with the advantage in the Iron Shell CS game. He's going to just try to bulk his way straight towards that, what looks like mechanism buildup, but he still has some time ahead of him. While Boris here, he's level 6 now, so we'll await what kind of rotation could come from him. He already has a TP in his pocket, so we'll see if WanteD try to set something up. They already smoke here, Lacoste. They're on the prowl.
Yeah, there's a rotation from Tusk coming to bottom. They want to get a kill on Nyx Assassin, but they don't have any reveal for his ultimate.
Oh, and what they don't know is WanteD's also rotating down here. Saksa gets jumped by Jao. Moon's going to be coming over and dropping the wall to help him out. They snowball forward, looking to go for PPD. He's eating all that Ion Shell damage. He's in trouble, and he's going to be going down. They run right through him. On the other side, disruption set up for Boris. Comes out. He's got the Vendetta. Saksa will salve up, and they will be able to avoid any additional trouble from WanteD here, and DC managed to even the game now 2-2.
This game is going to be so fun to watch. They have so much things to control, as we mentioned before, in terms of Tusk, Snowball, Disruption coming from Shadow Demon, and Astral Imprisonment coming from Outworld Devourer. It's going to be so hard to actually kill a hero. So it's going to be the battle of...
Oh, they got a hold of Misery here.
Him.
Yeah, Misery, I mean, that's just what you have to do as a support sometimes. He had 2 wards in his pocket. Sometimes you got to make that treacherous journey into the unknown of the enemy side and just try to get that very valuable piece of intel down. Problem is that sometimes you get punished along the way, and this time it was that case. Misery will not be able to get any wards down. WanteD will take the free little support kill, and now it's time for some more adventures, Lacoste. They smoke, and they're going to head towards the mid lane for a hopeful setup.
Yeah, I guess they're looking to get an Astral on a hero. Oh, Misery is in problem again.
Oh, God. He just got back. He's like, maybe I'll put a ward over here. Nope. Again, WanteD will be there for you. And they'll get you. PPD will zap him on the back end of this one. Double takedown of supports right here. Just little bits of money trickling the way of WanteD right now.
Yeah,
I mean, this is good.
Weeha knew something shady was going on, so he just TP'd to his another Meepo.
His potential yet to be unleashed, of course. He's got that build-up, as Meepos do. You got to get those Dragon Lances underway. Oh, he's found himself between a couple of Bash brothers here. He'll summon his other Meepo, but they are just going to burst their way through at least one of them and get it done. Another pick-off. This one much more valuable in the takedown of Meepo. Down and below, Moon Meander behind the Tier 1, looking to make a committed dive right now, and now finds himself in trouble. He goes down. That's 4 straight takedowns for WanteD.
Yeah, WanteD just decided to play some gank game, get some early smokes on and use them, and they rotated Weaver to bottom, so she can free farm. Meanwhile, they let Luna farm on top. But really nice plays coming from Pudge. Oh, a bit of misplay.
WanteD looking to head back, and they're trying to punish him for it. There goes the Eclipse. It will be mitigated between them. PPD will get caught with the Disruption and the Soul Catcher. They're looking to go for the finish. Can they get it? He needs another auto attack. They are going to be able to get the OD down. PPD will survive, hitting a salve up on the way to the high ground, but DC will take the pick-off of OD and move forward in hopes of trying to get some damage onto this Tier 1. We'll see if WanteD can hold. Boris is rotating through. He's got a Vendetta, and it looks like DC are not going to hang around much longer. They'll take the pick-off on OD, and they'll get right back to their grind to farm.
Rubik a bit under-leveled this game, only level half in the 4, 10 minutes into the game. Meanwhile, Pudge doing really well in 4 out of 6 kills. He's gonna get some easy strength when he gets the flash heap up, being level 6 right now.
Yeah,
900 gold in his pocket.
This is Jo. You know, we're used to seeing Jo play. I mean, the last time I've seen a lot of Jo play, he was playing like more of that core position. But here on the roaming position of this Pudge and like just kind of causing a ruckus, getting in the face of DC, making setups, it's, you know, maybe it might be early to say, but this is seeming like a pretty nice spot for Jo right now. He might have to get to help his teammate though. QO is in trouble, and he just gets poofed down from Wee. Now the hook is going to be coming out from Jo as he gets the pullback for Wee onto one of the Meepos. Can they get the finish? Chessie's trying to help him out. They focus fire him, and they will be able to get him down. The last moments will get the grab. Jo tries to go for a turnaround hook. Can't get the catch. Unfortunately, going to get blocked in there from Jesse. Jo will end up getting dropped after eating too much damage. It turns into a 2-for-1 trade, plus a tower takedown in the bottom lane. DC will be okay with that.
It went really well for DC. I think bad timing on OD. He was trying to bait. This was the 3rd smoke actually coming out from WanteD in 3 or 4 minutes. They just wanted to get some early lane pressures and dominance, but meanwhile Darkseer has his mech up.
Ooh, comes into lane.
Still in the base
they
though.
They stun him up with the Carapace on the Ion Shell, but Misery's there, hits him up with the Disruption. And reinforcements begin to come in here for DC, but boom, got him. Pull
nice
back.
hook again.
It is, though, going to be onto the Tuscan. He could snowball back towards his team. They hit him up with the Purge. That had been taken, and they're trying to make it count. They are going to be able to get not 1, not 2, but 3 taken down from DC's side. A big move forward from WanteD, and they're just going to try to sweep up a Tier 2 on top of it. The takedown earlier of QO and a couple of awkward ganks is certainly going to be made up for, as WanteD get a good big push of momentum right there.
Pudge hooks are really on point this game. I want to see a win ratio actually from the Pudge in the past 2 or 3 months. I think when in the right hands, this hero is just complete beast.
It really is something special, and unfortunately is also causing quick grief for a lot of other players. I mean, obviously this has been a hero that's been in the Dota family for a long, long time, and he's always had this kind of toolkit, but you know, when the game gets more and more competitive and things like the laning stage and being able to focus on your CS game and your itemization becomes more intense, heroes like Pudge come into the mix, they hook you, they totally just pull you out of your element, they catch you by surprise, and they can, for some cases, tilt people a bit, and they'll just be thrown off their game. People are beginning to call out that maybe Pudge even needs a nerf there, Lacoste. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I've been playing Pudge for quite long. I have like 600 games on Pudge. Pretty much was abusing it, let's call it. But he needs a little bit of nerf. That's the hero that can change the, not just fight, but the entire game with one spell.
Oh, PPD gets the lift, but quickly finds himself across DC's gank. Getting hit up with a disruption. The Prison's going to be there to go for the finish. And now they move on forward, looking to go right for resolution. They'll get the takedown. Weehaw rolls through next. Poof bombs come out. Decent target onto QO. He's going to be forced to dish the self-prison to stay alive here. As he comes out, though, can he make it away from trouble? He makes it to the high ground and around the corner while the rest of WanteD are going to go for the cutoff here on the Moon. He turns back looking to go for Boris, who just kind of threw himself in like a martyr. QO will be fine for now.
Oh, missed
I
vacuum.
say that. He stops to go for the illusion, allows the net to catch. Chessie also makes it out. WanteD lose nobody for this engagement, and DC lose 3 more. Oh, look at Boris, so deep. Still trying to hide away from getting caught out, making him sweat for it, slowing him down with the carapace.
He's gonna pay with his life. There's nowhere to run, Boris.
Finally gonna get dropped on the other side while distracted with that. It looks like PPD was caught out there from Weehaw's Meepo, still flirting around that wall area, I guess. He'll get punished, but still a favorable trade for WanteD at the end of the day.
Yeah, second Dragon Lance finished on Meepo. He's gonna go for a blink right now. He's level 14. Look at the talent trees on Meepo. I think his talent tree, when in the right hands, is the most OP talent tree ever. Might be wrong though. 15 damage, 15% lifesteal on level 15, and him leveling up so fast, he's gonna be level 15 at 15-minute mark.
They got him. Saxa, bottom lane, gonna get hooked, pulled back, goes for the defensive snowball, but PPD will be there to zap him down before he can make a get out mid lane. QO, hit with the Earthbind, getting trapped in, has the force, but everybody's coming in to help him out now from WanteD, and it's gonna be Jo moving in, getting off the bite onto Wee, the pullback, but not enough. They're gonna be able to get the finish instead onto Jo, making it a 1-for-1. Boris runs back out, saving the carapace. Weehaw going to be forced to poof to get to the other Meepos to make it away from danger, and it looks like he should be able to scoot out from any further trouble. Back and behind, though, it looks like QO has been able to get the nab onto Weehaw. He ends up going down, not being able to make it out. One left behind is all it takes. And DC will lose their Meepo. It does cost WanteD just their JO Pudge, but remember, this led in with they take down the bottom lane onto Saxa. Just seems like the pattern of how these skirmishes continue to work out here, where WanteD seem to kind of always get the better end of it, having the better team fight at this moment.
Daxa in problem again. Will he get the Astrolaw? No. Look at the net worth on the 2 supports on the DC side. They have 3k net worth combined. Really without items this game.
PPD rolling forward, drops down the ward. Moon had been caught out, is going to need some help here as Misery ditches the disruption.
Nice hook on Luna again.
Grab onto Resolution, trying to TP in. That's spotted out with that PPD ward. Now he will get saved up with the snowball. They'll try to hold Jo back, and it's enough space for Resolution to make it out safely while Weehaw can move in, looking to go for PPD. We'll get the takedown on that one. Poofs him apart. Now Saxa, happy, confident, looking to roll in. QO going to be forced to ditch out the prison. Another hook comes out from Jo, pulling Saxa back and away. While on the other side, though, it is going to be a severe takedown. Resolution bops down Boris. Chessie continues to go to work, but he is going to get dropped from Weehaw, handing over that 3-kill streak. QO could be next, but as the hook comes out to save him, the prison was already there. He'll come back into his demise. It's a triple kill for the Weehaw Meepo, and he ain't done yet.
Oh, it's a team wipe.
Vacuum cancel on the TP will lead to the ultra kill for Weehaw. A Meepo exhibition. Not a surprise in its own right.
It looked really promising after that hook on Luna, but as I mentioned during the pick phase, they have so much to save heroes with in terms of disruption and snowball. It's just so much time for your team.
That was such a nice start, a good setup to get to recognize, firstly from PPD, dropping down the ward for a potential setup like that one where Jo gets the snag onto Resolution, pulls him back into an awkward spot, but as you mentioned, just so many opportunities for DC to bail out anyone who is being the focus of WanteD. And you just look at their lineup, and that's pretty much what most of them do. A lot of single target focus. And if they can't get that first person down, they go to the next. And DC force them to sweat them out even further. It actually turns into a bit of an awkward spot for WanteD when it really does break out into a 5-on-5 fight. I led into that fight saying I felt more confident for WanteD in taking these fights, but it's very apparent when everybody's at attendance and swinging that DC have just a lot more useful tools in their tool belt.
DC's heroes are really strong when they go as 5.
Yeah.
In a Luna ulti, they even have a Guardian Greaves right now on Darkseer, plus Wall of Replica. vacuum, a lot of stuff to focus on. Especially if you focus one of the meepos and don't kill him, it's gonna end up as a disaster for you.
DC now feeling pretty good with their 5-man. Will continue as a 5-man here as they trudge their way through the bottom lane. Tier 2 territory is becoming pretty sweet of a target right now. And they'll go right into it. It looks like a possible trade for WanteD. Recognize the movement coming down through the bottom. They'll take their business up towards the top lane here. But it feels like
DC wants to continue.
Yeah, it feels like the pressure is definitely going to be on WanteD to have to respond to DC moving forward. So I don't know if this means that they already have to get to that point of preparing and prepping for tower defenses at tier 2s or maybe even inside their own base, or if they should wait out, get those smokes back, and try to make some, you know, catch plays or surprise plays onto DC.
Well, it's easy to set up ganks now with Meepo having a Blink Dagger on him. I think they just want to pressure those top tier 1 and tier 2 tower because they feel more comfortable and feel they're a lot stronger than them. And after that, maybe try to get a Roche for a Meepo and then the game from that point. That's the perfect scenario for DC. We'll see how it goes.
So what would be the perfect scenario here for WanteD then moving forward?
Well, they need the Nyx Assassin picked up a Blink Dagger right now. He missed 2 crucial stuns in the last 2 fights, so he's gonna be a lot easier to position himself. But they need to land a good hook, definitely. They're really behind.
Let's see if they can get the setup they're hoping for to kind of pull themselves back into this, because DC are starting to climb their way into a bigger and bigger net worth advantage right now. And Chessie's just eating the casual harassment, and he's already like below half of his life. They are going to be able to get the finish, it looks like, onto that tier 1. So DC continue to kind of move down that docket of objectives they want to complete here, and Roche could be on that docket soon. And it looks like WanteD are just hanging out in the vicinity, preparing themselves, maybe getting down a couple early wards for what could be a future battle. But I gotta say, WanteD have a pretty good lineup for contesting Roche. Hook, Vendetta.
Yeah, you don't want to, you know, rule number 1, you don't want to go to Roche against Budge. That's the thing. You need to take a team fight before, get a 2 or 3 kills, and then you can do it easily after that.
Oh, whoa, jump in. He's going for the hit and run right now into Jo. Gets a lot of damage in, but can't get the finish yet. They will be able to bring him down eventually. Weehaw takes a lot of damage for it. There goes the Sandy's Eclipse. A self Prison will come out. Wall going to be dropped and prepared from DC. They know with a big fight here, they'll take the Roche and move forward through this game. And there it comes from Resolution. A mighty Eclipse from the heavens above is going to just annihilate QO and PPD, and they'll go for the Roche next. Really did not feel like WanteD were prepared for an ambush like that one. But they got hit, Lacoste. They got hit hard.
Yeah, they did. Well, they feel they're so strong at the moment, and they just want to use it, use that momentum. You see, if you look at Weaver, his items, Dragonlance, Power Treads, he was playing really well early game, but he needs more items at the moment. Only 6.6k net worth, Luna, double of that. So.
And I don't forecast him getting any kind of real time and space to be able to farm up those items necessary. At this point moving forward, DC are just going to push the envelope as much as possible here. There is going to be a nice hook pullback. It's on Moon, and the pointy-headed one's going to get taken out right away. It looks like PPD will suffer the consequences for that gank. Just a bit out of position, will quickly get swarmed up from the rest of DC. QO could be next. Poofs come forward, but the Prison will stop it. But how is he going to make it away from this one? Has the Force. Boris is waiting with the stun.
Nice stun.
They're poking at him a bit. There's going to be the hook pull inside. Is it good enough? DC are going to be happy to just roll on into this base and pull him out. The bombs come out from the Meepo, and they're going to just get a quick takedown of QO. Another hook from Jo, trying to pull back what he can. This will only cost DC their Aegis. And they're already going to work, it looks like, on this tier 3. The Raxes are going to be set to fall next. A buyback is going to be forced out from QO, and that is when DC will turn tail and run. Poke will fly out, though, from Jo. Gets the pullback on from Misery. Self-disruption will save him for now, and they turn their sights onto Jo and quickly look to take him out. Looks like he's going to be fine. The Prison's there from QO, keeps him alive and well. Misery not going to be so lucky. Goes within the trees, going to get taken apart. Jo on the comeback will get blown apart from Weehaw. They continue to trade blows. Finally, a takedown of Resolution. WanteD love this, but they could be losing so much for it. Boris, nice little force save, gets him out from trouble, and they're going to be able to turn it around. They get the takedown of Meepo, and Moon could be next. And he will be too. Wanted, hold on to their racks. They take a lot of DC names. It's hard to really get a head count at the end of the day here. With Boris finishing out with a double kill at the end, it looks like it's to take down 4, cost WanteD 3, plus a buyback to do it.
Yeah, OD bought back, and well, WanteD got some easy gold. Let me check, 900 gold for QO there.
It's a lot of good money for a situation.
Yeah,
where
but
he's
the one that used the buyback.
Yeah.
So. I'm surprised the DC didn't get at least one set of racks there with Aegis. Even though the hooks didn't hit.
Looks like they might get a freebie here on the Misery, who had been just kind of pushing out the lane there on the side. Will get ambushed by both Boris and Jo. WanteD, I mean, yeah, they hold their own in the fight. They don't have to worry about the handicap of a top lane being at the advantage of DC. So they get to breathe some new life here and hope for a better round 2. But
yeah, Jesse picked up Desolator right now, and it's gonna be easier to focus one target, especially Meepo.
Ooh, PPD looking to go in deep with the smoke. Gets the ward to the high ground, so he gets a telekinesis set up on the Saksa. They can go for the burst and get him down before a snowball will come out. Another sweet little pick for WanteD on this one. They'll get the finish on for that tier 1 in the bottom lane. And they want to continue to creep through the south here in hopes for maybe yet another pickoff. Don't know how easy it's going to be, though. These cores, Resolution, Weeha's Meepo, getting a bit stacked. Even if you manage to get a nice little hook play, I don't know how much bursting potential they're going to have. That Deso you're talking about in Chessie will help this case, but you know, they're going to need really a lot of muscle power to be able to get a burst fast enough to justify that hook in this initiation.
Yeah, Meepo is so farm at the moment. Look at him having Ethereal Blade. Looking to get that Hex up really soon if he gets a good team fight.
Yeah, I mean, I have a hard time reading. Obviously, again, I'm not the biggest Meepo player. Like, when is it time to get 2 E-Blades over going for the Sheep Stick? But obviously, getting the lockdown for someone like Chessie would be super, super valuable in this game. I mean, Chessie did make the call, it looks like, whether it be him or his team, to take this more, you know, down that road of hitting with higher damage and not getting really anything too defensive. You know, he's going to be building into a BKB next. We'll have to hope and see if he's able to pull the money together to have it before the real fight breaks out.
Yeah, the BKB is pretty defensive, we can say.
Yeah.
Oh, it seems like a big fight is gonna come.
Boris is waiting on the high ground, but they have that sentry, and it looked like they may have pinged him out. DC will avoid heading up that hill, and now they'll get an idea as the range creep will come over and start poking at him. The jig may be up on this one. WanteD will have to reposition back behind the tower. DC continue their Shadow Demon Luna waves here, Lacoste. This is the classic sieging on this mid lane.
Exactly, classic sieging. Look at OD's HP. 500 HP just from the bounces. Well, if you look at the items on the WanteD side, they have 2 Force Staffs. Well, basically 1 Pike, 1 Force Staff on Nyx. And with Astral, they can kite pretty easily against DC's lineup, especially against Meepo.
We'll see how much longer WanteD will be able to maybe stall things out a bit here as they make their way back up towards the river, back towards Roche's neighborhood. DC are opting to go for more of a wraparound play here. I don't know if they're looking to meet up through the top lane after taking down this shrine, but wager that's probably going to be the likely case. WanteD, though, heading towards this direction, not looking to wait for the oncoming push, instead looking for a potential setup here. Boris way around the corner. They just walk up into the hill and into an Eclipse. Time lapse will force him back away. Jo will soak up a bit of the damage. The Eclipse is going to be down. Jump in, uses the shrine just before it goes down. They try to focus, get Misery, but there is going to be a snowball. There goes the big drop of the hammer onto their head, and it's going to quickly burst down 2 from DC. Taking apart Moon and taking him out before there'll be any sort of wall vacuum play. But again, man, Resolution Weeha so ridiculously farmed. They shrug off the trouble, and they're going to be able to take it back to WanteD at this point. QO's going to be going down. Weeha sights out, takes out PPD. On the other end, it looks like Chessie and Boris, the duo,
Jesse chasing.
They're trying to run down Resolution. They will be able to get him. He's going to be going down. As mentioned, buyback from Misery, not going to make it in time. Ooh, Earthbind, not going to find its mark. WeeHa, too massive of a target right now with all those meepos in hand for Jesse to just kind of go in on. But as the dust does settle, I mean, who really takes it?
Yeah, even Jesse bought back for this fight and picked up the gem. Looked really promising for WanteD after they wasted Eclipse. And it was a really good place for them to fight near the shrine, but still it wasn't enough. It just shows how DC are strong at the moment. Even with the wasted Eclipse and the fight near the shrine, they still managed to get 4 kills, plus a buyback.
It's pretty obvious right now, DC are holding on to this Roche, this upcoming Roche. WanteD aware of it, looking to be around and available for any sort of confrontation that could come out of it right now. DC securing this Roche secures him another attempt at that high ground push. They came up a bit short and have yet to be able to take down Arax here, which is already a pretty impressive showing from WanteD here at the start. A team that, you know, I don't know how many times they've scrimmed. Maybe PPD has an in with a certain EG and has some scrim buddies there, but, you know, this is a team where it's led by a guy who's been playing a lot of Witcher 3 on stream there, Lacoste. They're holding up.
Well, considering he was playing a lot of Witcher 3, they're doing pretty good in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
But look at Meepo at the moment. He's level 25 for quite some time, and he's really getting close to that Hex.
Is there a fear point of Meepo, like he just gets to a point where he just plateaus because he's already like at critical mass, and you have to just hope that the team is going to be like, you know.
He still has Dragon Lance.
We might have to hold that.
Oh,
big vacuum
nice
wall setup
wall
from Moon to pull in and take out QO. JL looking to commit in for the hook, pulls WeeHa back in inside. Soxo looks to go for the block of the shards, not really going to be able to get the connection he hopes for. Time-lapse pullback from Jesse. Sends him from the other side of DC, and frantic WanteD just scatter to try to make it back to the safety zone. Good hard shot comes out from DC, taking out the OD. Now QO does have a buyback here still, and they'll try to hold on to it, but DC obviously going to be coming in with the push now to force it out.
Well, tier 3 is down, and Luna has a BKB, so it's gonna be really easy to siege those Verax right now.
Keeping an eye on Boris here. He's in those back lines, but as I do that, WeeHa is able to get the initial jump. It takes out Jesse immediately. Then they go for the follow-up of Jo. Vacuum him back in. They get him with the uppercut. He somehow gets off the deny. Boris comes into play now. Buyback going to be forced out from PPD. This time DC not hesitating to go right in for those racks they were not able to get last time. They'll get the finish. WeeHa spots out PPD, takes him out immediately. Do not cross paths with this man, because he will do this. Moves in. Now there will be a drop of Insanity's Eclipse, but it doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot. QO could have just put himself into instead a world of hurt. This may be over fast, and that is going to be game. Digital Chaos are able to take game number 1. Based on the draft, it's obvious they came out into game number 1 really with no funny business. They came to play. They got their Shadow Demon Luna with their 1-2. They go right into the WeeHa Meepo. They were not looking to allow WanteD to come in here with any sort of like upset play in game number 1.
Yeah. Shadow Demon and Luna is always fun to watch. Sarcasm on. But they redeemed themselves with a Meepo, I guess. That's what the crowd likes to see. And he put up a really good show there.
You know, for WanteD, it was a formidable hold for now. They had that great hold, or that great team fight in top lane. A couple of missed stunts here and there from Boris on the Nyx, but that, you know, that could be the jitters working out. This is the first showing of WanteD after all. And taking
shaky hands, you think?
Shaky hands, maybe a little bit. Nothing too serious after all. But it is, you know, it's DAC, day 1, game 1. You're going against a team who's probably one of the favorites, if not the favorite, to take the whole qualifier. And you could end up, you know, this series could end up mattering a lot, you know, down the road. So, you know, being in the same.
It's always easy to play against a better team, especially against the favorites, because you got nothing to lose. So. If you lose, it's fine. If you win, then it's gonna be huge. So, it's I always like to play as an underdog, though.
Oh yeah. I believe I've even heard Misery say the same. A lot of people want to come in as the underdog. You want that feeling of just kind of, like you said, not having anything to lose, not, feeling like everyone's coming in saying you got to win, otherwise you're shit, because you're supposed
Yeah,
to be
but
that good.
but look at it from this side. Like every team wants to be the best team, but once you get to be one of the best, then you're sad because you're not underdog anymore, and people expect a lot from you every
Yeah.
game.
Then you do what DC does, and you go to Dota Pit, and you just kind of have a, a such and such kind of a showing. And then you go to DAC, and you could change things up, or even the major. I mean, who knows? DC may already be in kind of a.
And you end up at hotel lobby drinking at the second day.
And it turns into quickly a nice paid vacation. But here we're only in game. We're only in game number 1. Remember, this is a full best of 3. WanteD have a game to be able to take this and take it to a 3-game stretch. DC could take game 2 and just move on to their next opponent. We'll cut to a break right now before we begin game 2. I'm Coddle Guy. That's Lacoste. We'll be back for game 2 of WanteD versus DC. We'll see you then.